Okay, hi guys, welcome back to another review, and this one's going to be... Ooh, this is a big one. This is the $1,700 Sendy Audio Peacock planar magnetic headphones. Before I get into this review, if you're new here, please go ahead and subscribe. Like, seriously, hit that subscribe button because we have a review coming every day this week. I have tons of earphone comparisons to come up. We're going to be comparing tons and tons and tons of earphones. If you're subscribed to the channel, I always say this in all my videos, if you're subscribed to the channel, just go ahead and tell me what two earphones that I already have. Go back and look at the previous catalogue. Tell me the two you want to compare, you want to see go head to head. And I'm going to put out that video if it's relevant for everybody else and I think it might be useful. The whole purpose of this channel is not just to go ahead and do individual product reviews like this. So what you'll see is a product review like this, and then in the future you're going to see this Sendy Audio go up against something else that you're going to see in this video. The whole point of this is that we're going to have these head-to-heads because that's going to be the better way that you can find out which is the better headphone for you. It's all well and good me saying that these earphones are fantastic, they're spacious, they're detailed, but in comparison with what? What do I mean by that? A lot of people will say, oh, it's got great soundstage. Against what? What else is at the same price point or less that has better soundstage or worse soundstage, so that you can make a relevant and informed choice between the different models that are available? And the thing is that there's a lot of models available now. So this is that's the whole spiel on why you should subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and do that. You'll actually be helping out a lot. This is the Sendy Audio Peacock. Sendy Audio, I think they also do Sivga, which we have some reviews coming up this week. The box, fairly plain cardboard effort. I'm not going to go waste too much time with that. We'll get it out of the way. The case though, we'll talk about the case. The case is a stunner. It is, I believe, fake leather, but it's really high quality. It's got these brass fitments on the bottom. It's got brass hardware, brass carry tab, and a really high quality zipper. And on the inside, it's nicely lined with a satin finish thing that consequently my eye masks that I sleep in are made out of the same material. But the headphones sit in there nicely and you can get the cable in no problem. It's a nice portable solution. These aren't portable headphones, but if you're someone that travels a lot and wants to take them with you, or you're just looking for somewhere to store them that isn't going to be like an obscenely large box, I really like the case. Can't complain at all. It actually stands up on its own on those 4 feet on the bottom of it. I really like it. What more can I say? Now I'm going to throw it across the room. There you go. It also comes with this bag. In the bag you're going to get some of the accessories with it. I put these back into the little respective plastic baggies, but you get the big 1/4 inch jack, and then you get the little XLR adapter plug. So they've not missed anything out in the packaging, and these are super high quality as well. Let's take the plug out. It's got this weird theme where the metal components of the jack, it has that sort of webbing on it, and it kind of looks like that stuff that cables sometimes come wrapped in. Initially I was going to pull it off, but then I realised it was actually part of the knurling in the design. It's just really, really nicely put together, all metal build quality. And as I say, well thought out. It does come with a 4.4 balanced plug on it. So you've got your balance there, you've got your 1/4 inch jack, and you've got your XLR. So that will get thrown across the room as well. What should we do next? Should we bring the headphones into view? Ooh, let's get into them in a second. Let's take a look at the cable. Sorry, you're going to have to wait for those. Okay, I'm kind of having fun with this one because I quite like the build quality. I quite like a lot of aspects of this. So the cable, here you go. It's fantastic. It's this is right up there with a lot of the best headphone cables I've experienced. I think it's well made. I think it's the right weight. The hardware on it is fantastic quality. The connectors are buttery smooth and they just click right into place. I love the little wooden accents continuing on, although I think it's slightly lighter, but I love the little the wood accents on there, and they've grain matched it to go down. You know, it just looks. It looks the business, and the little spring strain relief system on it, as opposed to just going for a cheaper sort of plastic effort. Fantastic. The way it hangs, very resistant to tangles. You have, let's bring out the, it's actually, originally it looks like a quad braid, but it's actually an octo braid, because each one of these is 2 strands in itself. I don't know if you can see that. But what that does is greatly reduces tangles and reduces the microphonics of it. After the splitter, it actually splits into that quad, so you get a quad in each channel, and it's just super high quality. It's a joy to use this cable. I wish some of my other headphones would come with this cable, and if Sendy want to sell this cable as a separate product, I would recommend it instantly, depending on the price, of course. Let's put this to the side, because we're going to talk about the angle. Into the cable again, we'll just stick with that. The cable points out instead of down. The reason that most manufacturers do that, or most manufacturers that have a brain do this, is because it loops outwards and down over your chest, so it doesn't just come straight down on your shoulders and then have to contour around you. It pushes the cable out straight from the start. So there's a reason that is. They're fairly chunky headphones. Let's get this off to the side. Fairly chunky headphones, but they're really well made, and they're very good looking as well. I'm not the biggest fan of wooden headphones, but as they go, this is a really nice offering. It is wood on the outside of the ear cups, and then it's got this dual layer grill pattern, which I'm sure again it's going to be hard to see on the actual video, but there's the gold grill underneath, and then there's a black grill over the top, which gives this pattern, and it's lined up beautifully to make this sort of floral pattern. It looks really impressive, and like little touches, like you see the little pivot screws in there. They've got the Sendy logo on it. It's very refined. This is metal at the bottom as well. It's all aircraft grade aluminium. It's beautiful. The leather on this, the leather on the headband is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Feels really high quality. The stitching is all on point. There's nothing out of place like I've had with some other headphones from Audis and stuff. This is really nice. I like how resistive the slider band is, because it stays locked in place and fits me perfectly, and I've just knocked it out of place now. The Sendy logo is really subtle. I like that, because I don't want a big ass logo on my headphones. There was something that straight out the box I was kind of like, what the are you talking about, Sendy? And it was this up here where it said quad former technology. I was like, oh god, they've done the Chinese translation trick where they put something to Google Translate and it comes out looking wrong. And I can probably illustrate that. No, I can't. But the Keen Ovidius or something, the earphones that I just reviewed, these little guys. I don't know where in this. My desk is an absolute dumping ground right now. Anyway, like the Chinese have there they are. The Chinese have a great habit of putting Chinese characters into Google Translate and mistranslating it. When I saw this and when I read it, I was like, quad former technology. I was like, did you mean quad form technology? But then I started thinking about it a little bit. I was like, former, you know, it can be used in the sense of like a transformer, like wrapping, what is it, a core that you're wrapping a electrical coil around, which is essentially what you're doing here with planar magnetic technology. So I just thought that was kind of funny, where I was like about to jump down their throat, but then pull back. Down the bottom it says designed by Sendy Audio. I just can't say in words, like little touches, like machining out this reduces the weight a little bit more, machining out the top band. As I say, they're quite heavy, but on the head they don't really appear that, because most of the weight's on the driver, and up top it just sits so comfortably on the head. and there's little memory foam inside the leather. Speaking of leather, look at these ear cups or these ear pads. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful leather, like really high quality leather. Great like memory foam on the inside of it. It's a really luxurious feel to it. I'm not gonna pull it off. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not gonna mess with it. I had thought about doing this on the video for the first time so I could have a look, but I'm just not gonna do it. So build quality excellent. The sound, now the sound is where it gets a little bit and they sound great. They sound very, very detailed, but let's say I can really enjoy them. I wish they had a little bit more sub-bass response. The mid-bass, they've got a little more mid-bass hump going on there. The mid-range is where it sort of loses some of its energy. It's not a very energetic mid-range, it's not very prominent and in your face, and the treble as well kind of like rolls off at the top of it. It sounds very much like an earphone that's designed to listen to, something that you're not meant to take too seriously, over-analyse, and in doing so I just felt that they missed a little bit of the weight and impact into the mid-range. I just felt like there was, when you're listening to music and you start to get sort of moved by it for no reason, you sort of feel the weight and feel yourself getting lost into it. This wasn't the case with this. Usually when that happens, it happens because it's a very neutral and analytical headphone that you're listening to, one that you would do analytical listening with. This isn't one of these analytical things. It just seemed to miss that deep impact, like especially male vocals. Male vocals sounded good and they sounded clear and they sounded detailed, but it just missed that sort of gravelly depth. Female vocals were okay, although rolling off like at the top is playing sort of dangerous games, especially when you're talking about listening to Asian music. I listen to quite a bit of J-rock and J-pop and stuff like that. Because I used to live in Japan, so I'm sort of predisposed to having my earphones a little bit more tuned, or headphones tuned towards that sort of genre. This is more sort of, if you were going to listen to rock or something like that, these would be a good choice. The sticking point for me is not so much the sound. The sound's good. The sticking point for me is the price. The price is 1,700. I believe. I might have seen it at 1,500, but I believe it's 1,700. I don't know. In terms of that, you're looking at like a lot of these headphones, and you're looking at Mr. Speaker's. Almost all of Mr. Speaker's headphones are bangers. That guy knows what he's doing. I used to modify Fostex back in the day, and just from memory, like the Fostex could probably like do this with enough work, and carry more sort of dynamic range. Something like that would be competitive. Like you're definitely looking in the range of Mr. Speakers at this, and I think they've done a lot right. But there's it's not even a driving issue, because they were driving on medium gain on the iBasso DX300. It's not like one of those where it needs more energy to sound good. It sounds good, but you just feel like you're missing some depth to it. And when I'm looking at 1,700, I'm like, okay, so I like the build quality, but there's something else which I'm going to bring in now. These are better built, and these are only $300 more, and these sound better, and these are built better, and these have a better case, and the cable's okay. To be fair, the cable's good on this. The cable's better on the Sendy, although this one looks better. I like the colour of this cable better. There you go, there's the cable. This is the Timsock. This is a headphone that I reviewed originally, and I'm gonna make an amendment to it, because since I originally did that review, I've been playing about with sources, and the sources have started to make a big impact on the way it sounds. But not only do the sources make an impact, I figured out an EQ setting for this that makes it sound absolutely wonderful. Like that. I questioned whether or not these were worth $2,000 at first. After EQing them and changing up the source, is worth $2,000 to me. It sounds amazing, absolutely amazing. I prefer the leather, and if you prefer wood, obviously that's going to be your thing. I just think that these are beautiful, and so I wanted to bring these in and just point out that these are $300 more. You're not going to find a discount on them, I don't think, and availability is going to be limited. You know, if this is a $1,700 earphone, headphone, and then you've got Mr. Speakers kicking about that region as well, and you obviously have a D's, it's not really doing much like of punching above its weight. You know, it's a flagship. It's meant to be the highest priced thing. It's a good, solid headphone, and it sounds fantastic. Let's be real here. Let's be real here for a second. This is audiophile BS nitpicking. I'm not saying they sound bad by any means, but the whole purpose of this channel is to like put stuff head to head. The ones that I have head to head here that are closest in price are those Tim socks. In the other office I have I have my D's and I have a pair of Mr. Speakers, and I've not gone head to head with them, but I know when I try something that I sort of get that wow factor. With these I was just like, wow, that's really like clean and detailed, as opposed to moving me for a listening experience, like to sit down and just, you know, get lost in my music. And for me that was what was lacking against other stuff out there. It's a fantastic effort, but for me it's just not going to be there. It's close. It's like, you know, what we're talking the difference between a headphone that I would rate 9 out of 10 and 10 out of 10. So go and do with that what you want. I know people are going to nitpick over these comparisons and these reviews, and when you get to a certain price point, stuff sounds incredible. This sounds incredible. If you're coming from a set of $1,000 headphones, these are going to sound incredible. It's just relevant, and price and performance and stuff like that. I don't think Sendy are a big enough brand at this point, but this brings in another point that I'm going to make a future video on, is that we have, let's take a look at these, Canera Skuld, Fearless Audio, Roland, and let's take a look at Campfire Audio, Solaris 2020, for example, okay? The Chinese are there. The Chinese are there with their earphones. They have, in my mind, the Chinese have taken over the market. And the majority of people don't know about these sort of earphones, like Chifi earphones and stuff like that. But in terms of price to performance, the Chinese are there. They've dominated, and they're starting to smack the American brands and the Western brands around at this point. They're bringing stuff to market faster, and they've got access to the better technologies and the better cables, better everything. This is going to happen in headphones. You're seeing the first wave right now. Tim Socks, Sendy, Gold Plana, for example. You're seeing this wave, and this is a wave that Sennheiser, Shure, you know, these Western companies are going to really, really struggle to deal with. Because the Chinese are going to use this and they're going to dial it in. If you think this is going to be Sendy's like first and only, you got to be crazy. This is their first attempt at a flagship like this, and it's a banger, and it's going to get better as they get access to the technologies first and they develop the technologies themselves. Yeah, I just think that you know, for these ones in particular, let's take a look. Sennheiser HD 820 that I have. I've actually got these in the other room. I would take the 820, to be honest. So do with that what you want. I'm going to leave it there. Good set of headphones, like what they're doing, like the build quality, love the cable. I just think there's different options out there that's probably going to be better value for money. So that's it for another review. Thanks very much for watching. Subscribe, like, and I'll see you on one review every day this week.